Yo, what's going on, guys? Alex here, back with another video, and today I'm bringing you guys my week 1 match in the APA Academy Season 2. We are playing against Jacub and his Greenbay Pikachus. Now, you guys don't already know who Jacub is. The link to his channel will be in the description below, along with everybody else who's in this league. Jacub, he is an amazing battler. He always has some pretty, sane prep, to be honest, and facing him week 1 was kind of scary, just because of how good of a battler he is and how, just by the sheer amount of people that know him and know him to be a good battler. So starting off the season pretty strong here, going off against someone who's pretty good at the game. If you guys aren't already subscribed to everyone in the APA Academy this season, please make sure to check out all their channels in the description. There's a big long list of them. Just make sure you go subscribe to them down below. Now, we have a pretty decent matchup here this week. His team is going to be Xerneas, Mega Gallade, Tapu Lele, Hippowdon, Nihilego, Umbreon, Dragonite, Blastoise, Metagross, Sandslash, Abomasnow, and Alolan Sandslash. So, two Sandslash, I just noticed that actually. I didn't notice that when I was prepping, but he does have Xerneas, which is a pretty scary mon, along with Mega Gallade and Tapu Lele, so all three strong mons right there. I noticed though right off the bat that his fastest thing on the team was a Mega Gallade. So that meant that Mega Lucario and Thundurus were both outspeeding him, which is pretty nice here in this matchup, seeing as Mega Gallade just does hurt my team quite a bit. And Xerneas, again, just being a really scary mon. Another thing that he could bring, which I did sort of prep for around, was, or at least I did when I was mocking, was Scarf Lele. Now, Scarf Lele was a pretty actually good bring on his part that he could have brought. Obviously because it outspeeds Mega Lucario and does just OHKO up with Psychic. So we did kind of have to play around that. So yeah, let's just hop straight into the team. First off, we have, nicknames this season. It's something that I don't really do too much. I don't really do too many nicknames, but I'm going to make sure to nickname at least all my mons this season. Come up with some good nicknames. So we got Goku, the Mega Lucario. Running physical Mega Lucario this week. Now, if I wanted to run special, that would also work, but I thought that physical just worked here overall better. We have Ice Punch for the Dragonite and Meteor Mass in close combat, both as stab moves and Swords Dance. So the name of the game here, basically with this team in general, not even this week, but just with this team in general, is to set up hazards with the Axis Speed and then just kind of let Mega Lucario sweep. And that's basically what we're going to do here. Obviously, since it outspeeds everything on his team, we don't have to worry about, obviously, well, except Scarfers like Scarf Lele, we don't have to worry too much about things revenge killing me. We can just, as long as we're at +2 and hazards are up, we basically kill everything, and we basically OHKO everything on the team with close combat and our Meteor Mass. Ice Punch isn't really needed there, but I thought, you know what, we just need a 4th move, why not just throw it on there. And then next up, we have Toxic Pex, because this thing is just toxic, with Scald, Toxic Spikes, Gunk Shot, and Haze. Fun fact, Gunk Shot uninvested from Toxapex does 2-hit KO the Xerneas, so it does 50% at least. And then it has Black Sludge, obviously, and Regenerator. The special defense in there. Also, shoutouts to Aaron, who's the captain of the team that I'm on. So I got home on Friday when I was supposed to complete this team, and I just had a stupid migraine, and Aaron was like, you know what, I'll just finish up the team. I had about 80% of the team built, or more 70% of the team built, and he did he just finished up the rest of the team. So shoutouts to him. He did the EVs on this Toxapex here, which was able to live a Thunderbolt from Xerneas. I knew that Xerneas was able also to bring Thunder, but I didn't see why I would bring Thunder if it can just bring Thunderbolt, especially since I don't have Rain. So yeah, it is able to live a Thunderbolt from Xerneas, which could be important, especially if I'm trying to kill it with Gunk Shot. And then just max HP and a little bit of defense in there, just so that we're not getting hit too hard by the Mega Gallade. Haze, just in case he tries to set up Calm Lines with the Xerneas. This is more or less my check to Xerneas if Mega Lucario isn't already set up at the time. And then Toxic Spikes is just on there in case I see an opportunity to put him up. They're just there as extra hazards for his team. Next up is Deoxys Speed with Stealth Rock, Light Screen, Spikes, Psyshock, and then Sash, and then enough speed for a Tapu Lele, sorry, Scarf Lele, I believe. So I was thinking I could probably just like lead Deoxys here, seeing as his removal is like Xerneas. It's not, he didn't have like the greatest removal. Xerneas and I believe Dragonite too were his removal. So my plan was to kind of just throw up hazards right from the word go and then just see how it responds to it. So that's what we're basically doing here with this set. Nothing really too special in the Deoxys speed, but it is pretty key to get up hazards early on just to get chip on as much mons as I can so that Mega Lucario can sweep in the late game. Now, next up we have Thundurus. This is also just a really good mon. Looking at it, enough speed, obviously max speed. Thundurus does outspeed Mega Gallade. So, pretty standard set here with the EVs and everything. I forget what the original Z move I was going to run on it, but Z Thunderbolt was just at least to it, getting everything into a KO range. So, might as well obviously not hit Potom, but we bought Grass Knot for that just in case. And then I think I was trying to bring Z Focus Blast at first, but it didn't really like matter too much. So I just went with Z Thunderbolt and then Nasty Plot just because again, either Thundurus or Mega Lucario here could basically sweep once they get the +2 and hazards are up. So that was also pretty key. And then we have the Chia Pet Shuckle here. So we have 2 lead mons this week. I have Webs, Toxic, Knockoff, and Encore on it. Now, Webs aren't really necessary this week, though they are nice to have if I can get them up. I could have either led Deoxys Speed and Shuckle, which I think is pretty interesting on both sides because it kind of makes them think, well, was he going to leave it? Because Shuckle can also have rocks as well. And then just Toxic, Knockoff, and Encore, so all pretty standard moves on Shuckle. Pretty close to max defense, a little bit of split def in there. I forget what that was for. It's been a while since I looked at this team. But yeah. And then finally we have Calm Mind Cresselia, which is kind of an interesting bring, seeing as he does have the Umbreon. And I don't have, I don't have Moonblast. So if he brought in Umbreon in it, then I would just obviously switch out Cresselia. This isn't really needed. This is more of like a last resort kind of Cresselia, but it does actually kind of put in work this week, as you'll see in the battle. Colbur Berry, Calm Mind, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, and Moonlight, and then physically defensive. I messed up the Eevee there, I'm pretty sure. That's supposed to be plus defense, not plus defense, but I did fix that in the genning. So that's going to be the team. I'm going to go ahead and grab the battle, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we got the battle, and as you can see, he's going to be bringing Nihilego, Metagross, Tapu Lele, Blastoise, Xerneas, and Mega Gallade. I forgot also another remover on his team was Rapidspin Blastoise. So I was thinking, okay, yeah, he probably didn't bring Defog on Xerneas. He probably, if he is bringing Blastoise, is going to have Rapidspin in it. So that most likely is going to be his remover, which is actually pretty good check to Deoxys because I can't really touch that thing. So yeah. And then also no Umbreon either, which is super nice. I honestly expected him to bring it, but at the same time I felt that I needed to hit Metagross more with Shadow Ball rather than hitting the Umbreon, just because Mega Lucario could take care of the Umbreon just fine if need be. I didn't really need to worry about my Crest with the Umbreon, just because Crest again wasn't like too essential to get like Calm Minds up with and everything. It was just there if I felt that I needed it. So we're gonna go ahead and hop straight into the battle. Also, shout outs to the person who recorded this, Colin X. He is also in this league. He is a really good friend of mine, and he is he usually doesn't like record people's battles or anything, but recently he has been recording people's battles. So right off the bat, he's going to be leading Nihilego, and I'm going to be leading Deoxys Speed. I'm thinking, okay, this is fine. I'm totally fine with this. He's probably going to get up his rocks as well as I get up mine. I did not bring removal this week, which didn't really matter for me too much, because if I was going to be hazard stacking him and he did bring Defog, which he didn't, I could have just forced him to Defog, which, you know, having no removal is fine. But he goes straight for the Thunder Wave on the on my Deoxys Speed, which is actually pretty nice of him. So then he goes and gets those rocks for free. I now can't really do too much to him except for just clicking spikes, just sticking with the game plan here, trying to get up spikes and rocks early as I can. As I'm just like, okay, he's either going to switch out, or he probably won't stay in here because Psyshock kills him, so he is going to switch out into a Blastoise as I do click Psyshock here, I'm pretty sure. He's going to be taking some chip from the spikes and the rocks, and then even more damage from the side shock, which I do get a little bit on his investment here, and that did look pretty SPDEF heavy on him. So I'm just gonna go ahead and switch out straight into Thunders here, as he is probably just gonna he's probably just gonna click Rapid Spin, which he does here, and I do take some chip from the rocks, get down to about 75% with the Thunders, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, but definitely could affect me later on. And even at max special defense, I saw that Thunderbolt killed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take out the Blastoise right away. So his removal is gone, which is super nice for me. Well, at least the removal that I was assuming. He could still have the Fog on Xerneas. As he switches into Hiligo, I go straight into Cresselia, thinking, okay, this is a good time to start bringing out Cresselia and possibly Calm Mind on him, as he goes for Power Gem, and that does absolutely nothing. And I do get a free Calm Mind up here as he goes into the Metagross. So now I'm at +1, and I believe +1 Shadow Ball, depending on his investment, did like 2 KO, I'm pretty sure. At least with Rocks up, but Rocks are obviously up. So I figure I can either click Calm Mind or Moonlight again here. I'm just going to go ahead and click Moonlight, see what he wants to do. Not risk him 1 critting me, and 2 doing something really stupid. And he just goes straight for Medium Mass, which we see here does like 20% to me, if that. So he's going to withdraw, as I can go ahead and either, I think I click Calm Mind here, I don't really remember. He goes into Mega Gallade, as I do click Calm Mind again, thinking I can just basically set up on this thing for free. And he probably realized that. So now I'm at +2, which even at this range, Mega Gallade doesn't kill me, so I just stay in and I click Shadow Ball here. And this thing is going to go down. Really nice that I live, because he does click Knockoff here, but I do have the Cold Berry, which does allow me to live. Or no, he clicks Bulk Up here. I thought he clicked Knockoff. He tries setting up on me, but he doesn't realize that I have the Shadow Ball and it is going to take out this thing. So we are already up. Or it doesn't take out this thing quite yet, but I do remember that this thing does get taken up on my crest. He does click, yeah, that's where he clicks Knockoff. I knew he clicked Knockoff on me at least once here. As we're just going to eat that, get down to about 67 health. He does crit me, which is unfortunate, but it isn't the worst thing in the world, because I believe the Metagross still doesn't quite kill me here, and I don't think he'll bring it back in a +2 Shadow Ball. So he's going to go ahead and send out Peach, which is the Xerneas. Now at +2, there was like, I think, a roll that I lived a Moon Blast, I'm pretty sure. But he does just go for his own Calm Mind to start setting up, thinking, okay, this is gonna start getting a little interesting, because we do not want Xerneas to start getting up in his Calm Minds, obviously. But it didn't really matter too much if he took out my Crest here. I was kind of going more for thinking like, okay, if he kills Crest, it's not the end of the world. I can just go into Mega Lucario and kill this thing, easy peasy. As he does get to +2 now, but I am now at a lot more health after that Moonlight, and I believe I do just go ahead and click, no, I click Psyshock here on the Xerneas, which does about 30%, that looks like. I really wish I had like the little like HP bar thing. I'm gonna have to probably get that sometime, so I'm not just like guessing. As he is now at +3, I'm just gonna keep clicking Psyshock, honestly. Like, I don't lose anything here just because he's getting up in SPDEF, and he is now in range of another Psyshock. So he's gonna click Moonblast here, hoping to take me out, like get a crit or something. But we do eat that pretty nicely, and we're just gonna click Psyshock again, and we're gonna take out the Xerneas. So his 2 biggest threats to my team are basically gone. They're not basically, they are gone. As he does go back out into the Nihilego, which does outspeed me. Thinking, okay, I can get up another Calm Mind or something here, do a Moonlight, but he does just Thunder Wave me, which is a fine play on his part. It does kind of hinder me a little bit, but Psyshock is going to do a lot to this thing. I believe actually not take it out, because he is Sash, which is good on his part. So now he does just go ahead and switch it out. So if I do set up Hazards now, that thing is dead on re-entry, as he goes back into the Metagross. And instead of clicking Psyshock again, I obviously lived a hit from the Nihilego, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Moonlight, get it to full HP, or close to full at least. And now he's just going to keep clicking Meteor Mash, and I can just Shadow Ball here. I win this 1v1 every day of the week, even with Paralysis on. He does eat that a lot though, so I think he was assault vested. That does look like he's assault vested. He eats that pretty well. So I'm just gonna click Shadow Ball again. I do live one more meteor mash, I believe. So I can go ahead and Moonlight here. As long as I don't get paralyzed, that's fine. So he's gonna try and flinch me with the Rock Slide, which is a good play on his part actually. But obviously it doesn't work. We go through the process. We haven't gotten fully paralyzed yet, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But what can you do? That was actually a pretty good play on his part to try and flinch me and put me in range of another meteor match, and then hopefully like flinch me or another paralyze me. He's gonna click meteor match again, as he does actually get the attack raise, as I do finally get paralyzed after like clicking 7 or 8 moves, as he is now just gonna take me out with meteor match. So really, like, I'm not too worried about Crest going down. That's fine, because now I can go into Mega Lucario and start setting up, getting to +2 and just sweeping the rest of his team. So I Mega Evolve here, and I believe I just go ahead and go straight for the close combat, I believe, or go for this. I can't remember which one I go for. Yeah, I just go straight for the close combat, not wanting to mess around with this Metagross, get more damage on my Mega Lucario. Even if he switched into Lele there, the Lele was still taking a lot, or a decent amount from the close combat. Didn't really feel like I needed to get the +2 anymore. As he does go out for Lele, I'm like, okay, he brought this thing out like right away. He has to be Scarf. So I'm like, okay, you prepared for this, Alex. Don't freak out. Just switch out Mega Lucario and you'll be fine, which is exactly what I do. I go out into Deoxys Speed here, wanting to get up my rocks one last time just in case he switches out the Nihilego, so I can get a guaranteed kill on the Nihilego. Ooh, sorry, as he's just going to click Psychic, which actually does a decent amount to me. But I do calc that and see that he is obviously Scarf because he just keeps clicking Psychic here. So I sack off my Deoxys Speed, which isn't like too big of a deal. I'm kind of panicking here now because I didn't really... Oh yeah, this might have been the biggest misplay here. So, remember how I mentioned earlier webs weren't really necessary? Well, they definitely are here now, and for some reason when I was battling, I didn't like think of putting up webs. I just went straight for, he goes for Psychic, which I'm gonna live, but this is what the biggest misplay here. I clicked Toxic instead of Sticky Webs. I don't really know why, but I do. I had the game won if I clicked webs there. I really don't understand why I didn't. I guess I was nervous. I guess, I don't know. First battle of the season, and I didn't really think things through. I was kind of like panicking. I'm like, dang it, he is Scarf Lele, but I don't really have too much for it because Crest is down, which was my check to Lele. So I was kind of freaking out, and I didn't think about it until like after the match that dang it, I should have set up webs there. Because now Scarf Lele just runs through my team. He's just gonna keep clicking Psychic. I can't really do anything about it. It's going to take out my Toxapex, which is super unfortunate. So, we can kind of see, you can kind of see how this is going to go. I do waste out the turns of Psychic Terrain though, which was kind of my plan, but obviously he can just easily switch back out into Nihilego, sack that thing off, come back in with Tapu Lele, and get the terrain back up again, which, you know, that's fine by him. So, yeah, we make a big misplay here, which is super unfortunate for me. I also didn't bring the Bullet Punch, but it didn't really matter, obviously, since Terrain would have been up, and, you know, Psychic Terrain does what it does best and doesn't allow priority moves to work. So, yeah, really good game to Jacub. I basically just, like, it wasn't like a misclick or anything, it was just a misplay. I wasn't thinking it straight. I definitely should have gone for the webs there because I had won that game at that point, because he would have had to basically, if he wants terrain back up, and because without the terrain he wasn't OHKOing Mega Lucario with the Psychic, so he had to have terrain up to OHKO me, so he would have had to switch out, which at that point, if he did switch out and switch Lele back in, he would have been affected by webs, and then Scarf Lele wouldn't have made a difference. So yeah, should have set up webs. That's probably going to be the title of this video, should have set up webs, because honestly I should have. So, great game to Jacub. He did make a really good comeback on his part. Really good battler. I'm really excited for the rest of the season. I had a great time with this battle. It was a really close match. Obviously, we only lost 1-0, so it's not the worst start in the world. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back next week. I'm actually about to have my week 2 battle like right after I record this. So I'm gonna be back next week with my week 2 battle in the APA Academy. So I will see you guys next time. Peace out.